Hi, I'm Wendy. I'm a reference librarian at Grandview Heights Public Library, and I'm going to do your adult book talk this week. If you're interested in any of the books that I'm talking about, there will be a link attached to this post where you can find all of the books if they're available in large print, audiobook, ebook, e-audiobook, whatever you like to read your titles. So I'm going to start off with All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is the first book in what's called the Murderbot Diaries. This one actually came out in 2017, but the most recent one came out just last summer. This one actually it's a novella. It won both the Nebula and the Hugo Awards for Best Novella back in 2017. The main character, the Murderbot, as it were, is the character that you see here on the cover. And the story is told from his point of view. He is self-aware, which his company that owns him doesn't know. He's disabled his governorship. And he's not like like what you think of as a regular robot in science fiction that is just like Data, giving you facts, figures, that sort of thing. He's aware, there's a lot of humor. He's horrified by the humans that he has to protect. And basically he kind of just wants to watch his soap operas. So there is a lot of humor with this, but at the same time, he also realizes that his job is to protect the humans on a survey mission. They're on a planet, like I said, doing a survey mission, and one of the other teams on the planet stops communicating with them, and they start to wonder if something is going wrong. So they have to figure out what is happening. So that is, again, Martha Wells's the All Systems Red, the first book in the Murderbot Diaries. The second book that I want to talk about is by someone I'm sure you've probably heard of in the last year or so, politically speaking, Stacey Abrams. She was a gubernatorial candidate in Georgia, and is still working very hard with getting people registered to vote. She's written several romances in the past, but this is, I believe, her first political thriller, While Justice Sleeps. This just came out last week, so there is quite a list of people who want to read this, so you should get your name on the list as soon as possible. This reminds me a lot of some of the early John Grisham books, like Pelican Brief, Time to Kill. There is a Supreme Court justice that suddenly goes into a coma, and there's larger corporations that are trying to figure out how they can use that to their own advantage. At the same time, one of the justice's clerks has been tasked with being she's in charge of his health care. And so the companies are kind of like wondering what she knows about what's going on. So again, Stacey Abrams, While Justice Sleeps, just came out last week. The last one that I want to talk about isn't actually even out yet, so I don't have the actual book to show you, but this is what the cover looks like. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. Some of you might have read Red, White, and Royal Blue a couple years ago. That was her first book. This is her second book. It is not a sequel. The main character's name is August, and she has moved to New York, and she is intent on becoming sort of the typical jaded New Yorker. She doesn't want to make friends with her, somewhat bizarre roommate. She doesn't want to engage with people at her waitressing job. She really just wants to finish her degree and, start her real life. But then on the most mundane of tasks, riding the subway, she meets a girl named Jane. And in so many ways, Jane is perfect. She's charming, she's funny, she's gorgeous. And August just kind of keeps feeling herself falling for her. So, she asks Jane to meet her for coffee, that sort of thing. Jane always refuses. And she comes to find out that although she's firmly rooted in reality, living that New York lifestyle. August comes to find out that there is some magic going on in the world. Jane is actually stuck out of time. She actually got on the subway at some point in the 1970s and has been riding it ever since without aging. So the goal of the story is to find out what happened and to help Jane here. It's charming, it's magical. This is really kind of like the perfect summer read, you know, what you want to be reading when you're lying in a deck chair or sitting out in your backyard. I highly recommend it. Casey McQuiston's One Last Stop. So even if none of the books that I just talked to you about are really your cup of tea, we also have a service at the library called Discover Your Next Read. You can find that on our website, and I hope you find something that you do like. Have a good day. Bye-bye.